style.
Should favor GPlay style. I haven't seen them play Inferno, but if you say they have a strong passive setup, that's definitely going to be a good thing for them. Probably going to be a CT-sided map, apart from the rounds that mousesports are able to play aggressively. I'm sure they're comfortable doing both. But mousesports been, I think, like really well known for a couple of things. One of those things were developing the Mirage aggressive CT mid setups that they always do with Chris J. They like all go out window, one jumps out, one jumps on a cat, and just taking these really nice aggressive CT setups. They can transfer those into their Inferno play, and as you mentioned, push up apps, get a spot in window.
I think apps is where we'll see Dennis lurk the most because he likes to play those kind of positions. But just quickly, I'm just going to look again just at our Vulcan. So we did upgrade. We said Chris J would be the gamble between Dennis and he, but 20 kills for Chris J is a lot more. But look at the headshot percentage right now from Dennis. So that brings them both up. So those are both good value. In only one map, they're at 43 and 39. If this goes to 3, those guys are going to pump up like, I'd say pretty close to like 120, 100, and potentially 30 for Chris J on Dust 2 specifically. So not bad. Next wasn't far behind. In fact, he's only less than a point away from Dennis. So good value in the first 3. And obviously the 2 players from GPlay didn't do quite as well. But again, you can play in all of these leagues just by heading over to Vulcan.com and using the Counterpit promo code. But like we said, Launders, we're about to get into game.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I don't think I would have picked anyone different. It sounds like those look like good picks to me.
I think they're pretty conservative picks. I'm not, you know, I'm
somewhat.
I'm not a ballsy guy.
Nex is a hero, man. He's like one of the best players that I've got to watch in recent times just play the game.
I assume he's also the strat caller now for mousesports because he was calling for Penta and now he's on Mouse. Chris obviously wouldn't be calling. Gobby's not going to be calling, so I imagine it's all Nex.
Is Gob not calling?
I can't see Gob calling with this new roster. I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. If someone knows that in chat, let us know, because I actually don't know what the updated status of the calling for this team is.
Damn, he's almost like a Rain then. I actually do kind of see him as a Rain, where he's just, I mean, he's just such an insane rifler. Like, when those two, you know, there's that sequence of 3 people who come out.
Okay, says Gob is calling. Yeah, Gob's calling.
Yeah, Gob's calling, okay. But if he's that type of player that has, like, not only the insane rifle skills, but also that level of communication and can help out with those mid-round calls and stuff like that, and always has a good idea of what to do in a round. Like, he's got infinitely more value than just someone with good aim. So to know that he's even called for a pass team is pretty impressive.
Yeah, someone said he never called, but I actually know for a fact that during some of Penta's games he was calling, because I had a conversation with them after PGL. Obviously they weren't there at the LAN, but I had a conversation just through Skype with a couple of the players, and I knew Nex was putting some input into that team, so.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's like with Oppers, right? Like, we've seen what Speedy and Dennis pick up Ops. I mean, they're not Oppers, but Op is just another weapon in the game, right? You put the crosshair on them and they die. Some people are better at it because they have better first bullet accuracy or they know what angles to hold or whatever, but ultimately it's just another gun in the game. The same thing goes for calling. I mean, if you're a smart player, you can probably help out with calls, and sometimes you can actually be the caller. I mean, look at Flusha on Fnatic.
Yep. I totally agree with that, and I mean, Forrest picks up occasionally. It's interesting, by the way. I think Thorn made a really cool point about last week at DreamHack Tour. I'm also really curious about what's going to happen with Pronax, because they obviously won with Flush at calling. Now, I think that they won just because they finally played good. A lot of times they're running picks, but a lot of people say Pronax and Happy are the best callers in the game. By the way, Mouse win their second knife, so they'll start CT again, and they're going aggressive down middle. They're going to try and sandwich them inside Banana. So Banana Sandwich coming out, Chris J with 2, but neither of those 2 callers were actually... Look at Chris J, taps away, picks up 4. Next gets the last. That was massive from him with the USP. Really good accuracy, but neither of those 2 callers that everyone hypes up were calling at DreamHack Tour.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I don't know if it means that that's how it's going to be forever. I don't think that they have any attachment to either Flesha or Pronax or Happy or Shock's calling. They all just can do it, and you know, sometimes it can be good because if you're continually getting anti-stratted, or you just play against a team so much that you're even getting anti-stratted on an individual level, like I know exactly what this player does here because he always plays his position, then you might get a little bit stale, a little bit predictable. There's nothing you can do about that, so it can be nice just to play a little bit differently and know that you're playing with the best players in the world. I mean, even if you change up your style a little bit, the only thing that's going to change is that you're going to be less predictable. Now, Chris J is going to have to go up against 5 players rushing into the site with his bulldozer. Last time he got 1 tap, this time, not so much.
Well played. Well played by Bubble. Tech 9, that's what they're used for. Get that rush rolling. Gonna stack up Emo? No, okay, Bubble's gonna shift back over toward quad. They could have gone for that double stack just to go and try and fake them out on the peak, but he discovers the P90 sitting in the corner. Spy Leader aggressive. Nice shot on Nex. Not only does he get the early read, slow down this retake, but also finds the kill, and now it's just Gobby and Dennis, one with an MP9, with a FAMAS, against 2 Tech 9s and a P90, and where's the crossfire setup? Victor does it himself, but that could have been a lot more efficient, because now he's low on HP, as is the player in Emo. So Mouse 1 and 3 has a bit of a chance, but yeah, no, never mind. Bomb's ticking far too long, and he doesn't have a kit, so excellent response from GPlay already. T-side at Eco. This gives them a chance, because T-side, you lose that pistol, you've got to do it the hard way on gun rounds on Inferno. Now they don't have to do that anymore. They've just negated that fact.
Yeah, that was excellent. I mean, they got up close, and that can be the issue if you don't smoke off B or play that car. I mean, sometimes you don't want to do that versus the Eco. You want to nade down, fall back, smoke off the lane, and then. But if you don't play right in front of it and you let them into the site, you're kind of opening yourself up to getting swarmed if you don't get that first pick right away, and then have your teammate come in for the crossfire and kill that second one. And if you let those two slip, or even the first guy, all of a sudden there's 4 people in the site, and it's harder to even kill just one person.
So we do see that deep banana smoke. This would allow Chris to push down if he wanted to, and with Speedy. But overall, it just keeps them on the back foot inside middle. I expect to see that as more of a thing once we get rolling, once we get guns back out from mousesports. I expect to see them use that deep smoke on banana to try and establish that presence, just because they are an aggressive team, and that's really one of the only places you're almost guaranteed to get a bit of map control. Chris, though, does use the scout to do massive damage onto NKL.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know. Those of you who don't know, like, it's free because you can smoke all the way down B and get there before the terrorists do. So yeah, that is the thing we see most of the time in any high level play. Is like fight for banana control early because it's so much easier for CTs, and then you can like leave one person there and play 4A and just focus on the other side, which makes both of them very difficult to take. Now Spy Leader is going to open up this round by walking out. Really aggressive right now.
Just look at Dennis, though. Really good position to pop out in there. That's exactly well-timed. Low HP. Makes quick work with that FAMAS, but they've already got out because no one covering off pit, so they'll pour out of the apartments, take down Dennis on the way through. Good recovery shot from Chris J, but Bomb's going to go down. Dreamer's going to wait inside the site, and they actually have a player back toward pit, so it's pretty standard positions, but there's a reason these are standard, because they're so strong, and Victor pops out for the first on Chris. And with Speedy trying to climb over the box inside the site to hug the wall, he gets spotted up and taken down as well, and now GPlay have 2 rounds. Much better start this map already for them.
Yeah, they're doing super well. I'm really surprised they were able to get away with the Eco, first of all. And surviving that round was also a feat. I mean, winning any round these days is nothing to just go... it's nothing to go unnoticed. It's always difficult to win against almost any gun in this game, it seems. And Speedy's going to be pushed up really close versus a team that looks like they want to get control of Banana really quickly, and Speedy's going to have pushed out of his spot. And almost shot down here, but does manage to survive. Now there's no crossfire at B. Quick on the entries right now. Speedy is stuck in the back of the site, and NKL finds one as well. I mean, their biggest win right now is just going to be survive with all players alive, and so far they're doing a great job of it. Nex and Dennis are on a retake, but have no opportunity to get a killer. Just going to look for exits here. Dennis, obviously the 5.7 in armor, might be able to pick up a gun and run for his life.
Oh, Spy Leader's already spotted Dennis. So he couldn't do anything at all.
Can't get the drop on Spy Leader.
Well, he is a spy, and he had the lead there.
Oh my goodness. I'm leaving.
Oh my. Okay, peace. See ya. Thanks for coming, dude.
It was fun.
It was decent. I mean, it was all right.
Alright, I gotta stay and prove myself now.
I mean, I might call you later. Next time, we'll see.
I shed a single tear.
Well, that's more than she shed. But now we're going to be on 3 for GPlay. And M4 is going to come out. We'll finally see full guns in use because, again, they won that pistol, but Eco right away prevented them from getting into a position where they could buy it. It's going to be 5 M4s, so we won't see Chris J's op come out right away. But, again, we want to see how they utilize this deep smoke. Gobby's already setting up to throw that in place. And this will allow Chris and Speedy. No, it's actually late. It's just coming now, and it's going to be... Okay, so it's shallow. That's smart because becoming that late, they would have already been past it, so now they blocked it out still. Good awareness from Gobby on the timing of that, so well played.
Yeah, GPlay actually coming out with a really early B would have pushed right through that smoke and caught them off guard, so that was definitely a smarter setup. I mean, they have any kind of forward B control. They're not going to be able to leave one person here unless they're really brave about it, but ultimately still have more control. And you need to have either apps or forward banana control on Inferno You know, this isn't like overpass. This isn't like cash. The rotates are extremely long, and you can't just rely on sight hold. So you need to
Oh,
have as much information as you can.
oh, my mistake. Okay, I thought Nex was right beside him. He's actually boosted up on top of patio. I thought when he walked out the door from boiler, they were both so hyper focused on stairs they didn't see each other. But it was me misreading the X-ray. Regardless, they are going to have that positional play. But Dennis, Nex has already fallen off it, so Dennis gets caught. Nex goes back to the site. They don't get anything out of that position, that early boost. They do still have, well, they did have an even situation. Now they've got it back to 3-on-3. Good play by Nex to rotate back over because he realized Arch has given up. That drops bomb, but NKL is going to drop him. Now Chris J has to come around very quickly and swiftly does take down NKL. So bomb gets dropped inside the site, but they're going to have to play for this retake, at least for position. They can't quite get the bomb. Okay, now they've got it in position in Spy Leader's hands, and it'll be at least quick positioning because they're already rotated over on the CT side.
Our
Spy
man on the
Leader.
side.
Wow, Chris J got the exchange there. I thought Spy Leader for sure was in position to have that advantage on the peak. But this brings it back to a one-on-one because Dreamer will catch Speedy coming up the alley. And Chris going to bait out this defuse. Actually catches how? I don't know how Dreamer. I thought he spotted him coming back across. But Chris, well played, gets him truly out of position. No kit, lots of time.
Yeah, it was planted in a kind of awkward spot. Like I figured Pitt would be the linchpin of that rounds, but from the way that the bomb was planted, it forced Dreamer to be a little bit anxious about someone sticking the bomb, and so he actually had to step out to truck. And Chris, knowing that, walked around the default box. That was really well played 1v1, and actually well played 2v2 overall from mousesports to win that. GPlay got to be kicking themselves in the ass right now. Can we say ass?
I'm going to go ahead and say you can say ass.
Okay, because I said it twice.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
No, I mean, that was good. I mean, that came down to a one-on-one. They don't lose that, and they give up the first gun, and then they go back to like a 4-1, potentially 5-1 on a save. That was a big round. That's massive to get the CT side rolling because they start giving up too much again. It's the CT side of Mouse we've been hyping up based on the aggression, and on this map, there's not really much. I mean, they can still work on picks, obviously, and use their accuracy, but there's not really much they can do to counter that. But look at GPlay this time. They just walk in and annihilate mousesports. No answer whatsoever. Decent damage dealt on 2 players, but it doesn't matter. You lost 3 doing just that. This is a big win right now from GPlay. Really commanding site take on A.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I mean, there was a player on apps, and he didn't even have a chance to shoot the first guy, and that basically just baited out the shot. He just jumped right out of app. I think they had an idea of where he would play, and they took a risk by just running out dry. Jumped into the site. The second man traded the player on the apps who was focused on someone else, and that was what opened up the round. I mean, you kill that pit guy or that apps guy instantly, the round's over at A. That's your most important player on the map almost.
And they catch out Speedy. So no guns saved. And money still super tight because, again, it was a close round. Yes, they won it. We could have already been in a save position, but they get the guns out for one more. They had to win that one again just because they were so low based on coming down to a one-on-one in the first gun. So still good work by GPlay to pull this economy back immediately.
Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, they're already putting themselves in a position to get a 5th round here. And this is an overpass, a map where it's kind of unsure exactly how T-sided it might be, and a lead like this is isn't insurmountable. But at a certain point, GPlay are about to hit their quota. I mean, they're about 2 away from having a good half by any standards, and are about to get around here basically no trouble. I mean, it's a full save out for mousesports. It's not a single nade on the board. No stacks or anything to worry about. Well, actually, as I say that, some sort of a stack towards A. 4 players on the extremities of the site.
It's not like a direct stack, though. They're really just spread out. All they have is a support player from the rotation on Arch, but they're not like directly there in positions to go for trades. Because look, Speedy goes down. No one can pop back out and take that because they're still too far away. But I say that, and then Dennis, Goppy, and now Chris J all finding kills, so they do rotate over to the Arch side accordingly. That was well done. I didn't anticipate that. I thought they'd play it a lot more passively. So down to 2-on-2. They haven't been able to pick up a rifle. Next still holding by Pitt. He's just
This is a really interesting spot from him because he could just stand up and look Arch if he wanted to. Be in a really good spot to do it.
Gobb's rotated. Oh, he's been heard. But Nex pops out. That'll distract. Now Gobb can come around. They can go for this trade. Really well done by Nex to come out when he did. That bomb does go down, and the AK is going to reign supreme over Nex. Goppy, he knows exactly where he is. So Dreamer holds true and makes it 5-2. But that was really close. I mean, that was actually really interesting. The way that instantly that first kill came out on the player that was up close on Arch.
Yeah.
Everyone rotated over to compensate for that.
Yeah, we had like that enclave, right, where people were just starting to pour in from Arch, Chris J peeking from library, another guy peeking from CT, and it all ended up working out really well until GPlay evened out to a 2v2. Next got another pick and put Gabi in a one-on-one. I think if he just delayed that second kill a little bit longer for Gabi to peek as well, they would have just basically won it right there. I mean, it was really early into the plant too. They didn't need a kit.
And shots coming out from Chris J. Through that smoke, trying to do damage on NKL, who falls back accordingly, but Speedy took a decent amount of damage as well, 59 for him.
I think GPlay are going to be just as taking the sites just as safely as they did last round, but aren't fighting for a banana once again. Mousesports. Oh man, that would have been an invaluable round to win, as they are on another save here, and it could have been the difference between a buy and some economic damage to GPlay, but maybe already meeting their quota of 6 rounds. But I don't want to speak too soon, as we saw what almost happened last round. Spy Leader going to lead this path up to Arch, and I think they maybe want to go for a quiet split B, knowing that Mousesports aren't going to peek based on no information.
So GPlay have the wrap coming through CT. Chris J hears them. He'll fall back to tree position, try and catch them, but that's going to be checked. That has to be checked. It's such an obvious position, and it is. Spy Leader's going to get him, but Speedy's boosted up, manages to find only one before Bubble. Nice reaction shot. Flicks over to the left, catches him before he drops off into Orange's one. And Spy Leader just making sure everything's checked. He'll check out the emo corner, as bomb will go down again, and GPlay continuing on with great performance here. Although Dennison looks a little bit easier here as he comes back over, brings it back to a close situation. Victor Kynes next, and down to one-on-one. He picks up an AK, and it's low HP now for Victor, so Dennis has a chance, but nice peek. Victor popping out at the exact right moment, and that's going to make it another round here for GPlay.
Yeah, I really like how Victor didn't let him just get up close there and make it really awkward. Instead, took the round in his own hands and knows that if someone's going to push up the oranges or push up to new box where I'm standing, it's me my best bet to peek him before he gets around that corner or gets a drop on me. So again, they secure another 1v1. I mean, these are extremely tight rounds, and those were ecos. And you start to wonder, like, how are GPlay able to just pull it on the rifles even more decisively than they are on the ecos? Like, what do we have for the rifles here? Like, 5 players alive on their last rifle. Oh, next, opening up the round.
That changes it. That means already one's down. That's an improvement. A Spy Leader, though, does come back into next and brings it right back to a trade. Spy Leader lost a little bit of HP in the process, though. He's down to 58. So, slight win from next. But Chris J, there's the aggression, and Chris goes right through a smoke, tries to flash his way through, but doesn't catch NKL, and all it does is give away that he was coming. But Speedy makes up for it.
That was quite risky.
We've got the presence inside apartments, though, so Dennis has to watch from pit. Gobby's over on Arch. What? Okay, he is leading back. He needs to come over and support Dennis, because if they run up truck side, Dennis has too much to watch, and you can essentially give up Arch because you're still holding the site. Pit side a lot more important, and Speedy's holding Banana all by himself. That'll help them be able to do this, because they won't be able to rotate back with his really aggressive play. He does have a smoke out now, so even if they fall through, they won't be able to get there in time, and with only 28 seconds, it's pretty much limiting it down to only an A take. Spy Leader, though, nice shot on Gobby. Does find the first. Dreamer comes out, and Dennis is overwhelmed. He doesn't know which way to peek, and in rather flustered fashion, he will drop down. And Bomb's going to go into position, so GPlay again turning the round back on some excellent entry play. And Dreamer's doing massive work right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're really hitting those entries. They're
Hello,
absolutely... Goodbye, chicken.
Dinner's served.
Yeah. Doesn't look like there's much meat on the bones there, but... Gob and Pitt, I mean, I feel like his job was just to stay alive. And, I mean, his other teammate on the site did die, and they had 2 players there. It would have been nice if they both stayed alive, or either one of them got a pick and left Speedy in a... Speedy in a 1v2. Or in a 1v1, that is. But if Gob were able to stay alive, I mean, they checked the pit, they were waiting for him to peek, and he didn't peek, and they didn't really swarm him. If he just stayed alive a little bit longer, I think there would have been a much better chance for the retake there. That pit player is so important. And I mean, GPlay, I'm speaking to mousesports because GPlay have 7 rounds already on the T side, and this is, I'm sure, an inexcusable situation for mousesports. I mean, I can't believe they feel any other way. We saw them so dominant last CT side.
Again, the problem is that they don't have a style that really suits their CT on this map. They have to learn to play passive at times, and they're getting caught. We saw Chris J pushing through that smoke. And the problem goes even further than that, because this is one of the most played maps in any map pool, so they're going to have to play this a lot. And that means if they want to make a case at, major tournaments where they're playing best of 3 formats, they pretty much have to get it going right now.
Yeah, it's everyone's best map, right? That's a main issue. I mean, that's not necessarily true, but just in the sense that
Oh no,
it is
there's a
kind of
lot
the
of
Dust
teams
2
that
of
do consider it.
CS:GO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Nice reverse bunny hop, NKL. At least you're showing off that you're wearing your Nikes. But Speedy's pushed up using this Mag 7. How does he not collect it on the first shot? Unfortunately, that means that he gets overwhelmed. But Nex makes up for it coming up Boiler. He'll find Spy Leader. They get it back to a man advantage. And they just have to play this passively. Unfortunately, Nex gets caught out by Victor on a rather aggressive positional play from outside Boiler. But look at the recovery play from Dennis. He pops back out with the M4. And now it's all left to just Bubble, who finds himself in a 1v3. He gets the first kill, but look at the pinch. He might get two here. Oh, it's underpass from Chris Shea. That's cheeky. Gets him a long way outside of mid. He might actually hear him if he falls back down. That's the only advantage. But Bubble's going to do the obvious right now and head toward B through CT. So Chris Shea has to move back up. Fortunately, no, he's not. Fortunately, he was going to, but unfortunately, he doesn't.
I mean, yeah, he needs to bet on that timing. I mean, there is one person per site. The only issue for Chris J is he feels that Gob is left on the site with a 5-7, but the bomb's going to get planted right now, and no one is going to stop him. Also, a good smoke here. Very winnable right now for Bubble.
Flashes himself at least into Emo, but he's spotted by Chris. Manages to get the first kill. Can he get the second? Tries to spray away. Unfortunately, he cannot. Bubble still stuck inside Emo. Goes for the repeak as Gabi comes around the corner and gets position on him, and he gets the better of the kill. Well done that time, and they'll get this defused. Now they've got another round to work with on mousesports' side. mousesports, wow, look at me being North American. mousesports' side.
Very similar, I think. But yeah, they do find a round in the midst of all this terrorist chaos, and that's gonna do a lot for their money. I mean,
CNN in the midst of all this terrorist chaos.
I learned how to cast.
Death total.
It must have been something that you taught me along the way.
Oh, goddamn! Blame it all on me.
I mean, take responsibility.
The ceasefire was erupted today. Twice a massive play on GPlay's side. An M4 was recovered and the bomb was planted. A C4 in the market side of the Inferno map. Tragedy rains out everywhere.
I mean, like, that's Irish, right?
I don't know what it is. It's whatever.
It's accidental Irish.
Chris J opens it up. Look at Nex, though, popping out from the balcony. Good positional. Takes down 3. Dreamer coming back around, though, but Nex has to find this shot. Tries to. Unsuccessful. And now Chris J in the recovery position. He drops as well. Dreamer. Huge recovery to pull this round back, but he's still in a disadvantaged situation as he finds himself in a 1v2. Inside the pit. Flash coming over from the first side. Gabi getting that out. That forces Dreamer to not be able to pull back out. Look where the bomb is as well. It's on top of the balcony. That's the problem. So Speedy's going to catch him trying to climb back up, and unfortunately the monkey's not quick enough. It'll be a 4th round now for mousesports.
Yeah, Speedy is really good about acting on information. Again, we saw him jump through that smoke on overpass, like in the staircase area, and just in that 1v2 make a huge play. And typically in a 2v1, like, you don't want to peek before your teammate can or whatever. But Speedy heard him jump on that truck and peeked around the corner, and those are the kind of kills that are really, really important sometimes. Don't like
that was
not leave the round up to.
Chris bunny hopped himself over to mid so quickly. He actually had a perfect position for a peek, and then as soon as he got there, he froze up because the smoke landed, so he wouldn't have the shot. It was like, damn it, my best efforts, my best jumping skills.
Oh, that sucks. Nowhere. That was GPlay smoke?
Yeah, it was GPlay smoke. It was well played. It was like perfectly timed. Just shut that down. But Gabri's going to be in a position here to drop out this smoke. This will prohibit the entry, and Speedy's going to try and fire right through it if they try and flash. But the flash comes out in return. It's Gob that's forced out of the site. Now Speedy has to play inside. He's already dropped down, and they've got full control. So Gabi, the question is, does he go full aggression and try and retake with these smokes out? That nade's going to bounce off his body. Luckily, it deflects in an angle that doesn't do massive damage below the stairwell. And he actually blocks his teammate who's trying to come back in. Dreamer finds Dennis. Chris looking for this angle, looking for this shot. Not going to find it just yet. Spy Leader's still on quad, and I think this is actually going to try and be a retreat right now. Bubble finding 1, Bubble finding 2. No, Gabi gets him.
Man, I gotta say,
the only thing that would save the round right now as Gabi tries is a giant disco artillery strike inside on the A site. Unfortunately, they don't have that stacked up in the inventory.
It's coming in the next update.
Yeah.
I have info. But I mean, I gotta say, after seeing the overpass T side of GPlay, was very unimpressed by like just the executes that occurred. Like, as we mentioned, some of the executes that were on B were kind of quiet, and you know, they only got a total of 3 rounds. But on this map right now, like, their B side executes are amazing. They completely neutralize Gabi in CT before he's able to throw a smoke. They were up in the site. First Oranges was completely blind. They're doing such a fantastic job, and it looks like mousesports going for a YOLO. Next, pushing all the way down mid to look for a pick, but doesn't find one right away.
Good response. Look at NKL though. Look at the overwhelming aggression. Now we're seeing Mouse try to get it in their favor. And with these pistols, they take more map control than they get with rifles, but it's all answered back. GPlay have their 9th, and we go on to round number 14 in a rather desperate position for mousesports. So again, this map does definitely pull back. GPlay, good choice to bring this out against mousesports. And remember, it's Dust that comes next. We do have Dennis, who's known for being massively aggressive at middle on Dust, and now we have Chris J, who loves to play on the A ramp to cover catwalk. That favors both those players, and they're the teammates that I think the synergy is built off of right now on this current roster. So that'll be interesting to see, but this isn't done just yet. Chris J, look at him going with the MP9 around the corner, only getting with the first. And Victor responding with a Pokeball kill on Speedy, and then the gunshot onto Chris. They'll rain into this B site.
And this is no small round. I mean, they're buying up to win both rounds, both of the last rounds here, because they recognize of how drastic the situation is. Gabi, so close to finding that entry if he just kept his gun out there. Instead does 20 damage with the nade, and Dennis is, a little bit aware of a player down on B waiting for him. So it's a 2v2 in the site, and Dennis in a 1v1 at T ramp, and he does find that frag.
Wins it. This gives them the man equalization, but they aren't going to go. They can't get in, and they want to save these guns for the last round force.
Oh, they have no kits.
Can't peek out in time. No kits. They can't do this. But the problem is that they are in good position. Oh, no, they're not. Dennis gets really passive. If he stayed down Banana, they have to go one way or the other. They're actually going to chase on next because they know where he is, but he finds the first on NKL. They can still do damage, but there's lots of money on the T side. It won't matter because last round they're going to buy anyway. Everyone down, but not a huge win. It's a little too late for that win.
Absolutely. Just it's really late now. I mean, they're looking at a 5-10 half, kind of the other way that you want it, and that means that they're going to not only have to win a pistol and just do an excellent job breaking the economy of GPlay, they're going to have to win the first rifle just for the sake of good timing, so that they can put GPlay on an eco. They're going to make these T rounds really easy. I mean, I won't expect GPlay with how well they're playing right now to give up the CT rounds that easily, but
from round 7 onward, we've had really close advantages, which is why the frag distribution is so close, and actually the money was somewhat reasonable until the last 2. Speedy, though, will close down Bubble. The rifle's trying to come back over as Gabi, or rather Dennis and Nex. Oh, good play from Victor. He throws the gun over the wall. That may they can't re-grab that.
What's really awkward is, like, on that round 7, right, there was round 6 was the rifle round. GPlay won that, keeping 5 alive. They entered out B. And then on round 7, that was an eco where they only had one player alive, or they almost won it. So it's been like backwards for them, and that actually put them on a double save.
They've got them slowed down on this take though. They're inside right now in Banana. So this is reasonably well done on this eco round, forced buy, I should say, from Mouse. As Gob's going to be the one lurking inside the site. Reasonable position to get this shot as well with the 5-7. But Dreamer already looking. There it is. He gets the first. Now he just has to fall off. Stay efficient. Let that rifle come around the backside from construction. As Dennis is just now rotating. And the rifle is in position. They're going to try and still force in on next. That fire will give them the position to plant the bomb. And they actually might get spy leader. Okay, he's not going to push. If he pushes through, he actually would have been caught. No, he wouldn't have been by Dennis. He's coming from Banana. So he actually had the advantage right there to try and get through and get next off guard. Next back out. Bomb's already down, and they've heard him coming because he's making a lot of noise. Dennis, though, does have a reasonable chance to come in front. He does take down Victor, and the shot, well played by Nex, goes the way of mousesports, and they'll get 5 rounds, but that's all they're going to get CT side. On a team like mousesports, I mean, this is going to have to be a miraculous half.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to have to be on their knees praying, along with hitting shots. I think mousesports.
I just did it, by the way. Once a cast, I hit the hotkey at the same time as my talk key, and I mute my OBS. God damn. So I think no one can hear me saying, I think the last, 10 seconds of the round. I don't know. Chat will tell me I'm an idiot. Either way, it's 5 now for mousesports on our good retake. And the important part I was saying, I'm not sure how long I was muted, but the important part was Gobby hitting that shot with the 5-7 to make it all possible to get the rifle in position.
100%, yeah. Oh, already up to a quick pistol here. Mouse. They smoked mid, and were they going to go through it? I feel like Chris really wanted to, but they're going to cancel. Consider other options. So now we're hitting up a plan B where everybody's in alt, and they haven't given up too much map control. Like Speedy just still has information on B, but with GPlay stacking over towards it, they could go in. It would be the right play, and that's where they want to go.
Speedy's going to fall back. This banana stack could be interesting because I highlighted there's 2 players playing really passively in B. So if they'd come early and got the first pick, they would have gone into site but still had 2 to contend with. And that could have been beneficial. Just by playing passive and not knowing they're there, it's very easy to overlook. Like if a stack's not obvious right away, it's very often that's how it gets overlooked. But they're rotating it back to A side now. That smoke catches NKL out, but he does actually spot the player, so he'll make that call. I'm pretty sure he saw Dennis. He had to have seen Dennis going through there. So he'll make the call for his teammates that are rotating that he's going to be inside the arches. They'll try and play off 1 versus 1 against him, but next, good shot on Dreamer, opening up the truck side. NKL passive in the site. He can't do anything. Mouse is just swarming the site. This is a perfect start right now on their pistol, and Dennis takes down Bubble. Remember, they won the first half pistol, so this is 2 pistol rounds for them. However, they had an eco go against them, which is why they couldn't really build up a potential 3 rounds. They could have been in a much better situation right now. That could have ended 8-7 or 9-6, potentially even in their favor if they hadn't been ecoed.
Yeah, I mean that's the benefit of winning the pistol, but also having to avoid getting eco there. But they do. I mean, they had a strong pistol. I mean, they went up mid. They took mid control late. GPlay actually had the right read. I mean, they went B just off the bat, assuming that it might be a B hit, and then cheated over towards A, pushed 1 player down banana, had the perfect stack out at A, and then just failed to hit their shots. mousesports instead hit their entries and looked fierce doing it. So that's going to be kind of a hit to the ego of GPlay, who had a good read but couldn't make it happen in spite of that.
Dennis trying to lurk, but Chris J looks to be the first in. That smoke will prohibit his entry, though. A Curse Tech, or rather, Mac 10 is pretty cool, I have to say. It looks better when you see the whole handle, but it's pretty cool.
Which one is that?
The
It's
Curse
the rose.
Mac 10 it's like, it looks like the rose, but it almost looks like a brain. I'm not really sure.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I got some graffiti in the alleyway that looks like that. You guys have graffiti in Nova Scotia?
Wow, you think we're that good?
I know.
Yes, we do.
They do graffiti in the cornfields.
Rude.
That you can see all the way across.
Why you gotta be so rude?
I'm just...
They do enter in. Nice smoke, though. That pulls off Spy Leader. It has to put all the pressure onto Victor. He does end the first kill. I'm stuck on a body. Why am I stuck on a body? Spy Leader, good answer, though. Catches out Dennis, but they've got these AKs inside the site. Bomb already down. Tech9 crossing over for next now as he does get the first with the AK. 3-on-3. Speedy way off the site. He's lurking well because now he finds Bubble, and he's had the 3rd one in position. Good closing of the round. That'll do it. mousesports stay secure. 3 men up. Not too bad. They'll have to reinvest into an AK, though.
Yep, and they put GPlay back on a save. This should be another free round. If they were able to start the eco, couldn't imagine any less of a result from this one, and it seems T-side much easier to come by on those anti-ecos. Now, what will come of the first rifle round, though? That's what we're really rubbing our hands for. That's going to be the first test of Mouse, and if they're able to win the first rifle round, I'm just skipping a round ahead right now. If they win this round, and it looks like they're off to a really good start, and come away with the first rifle round, then they put GPlay back on a save, and then we're within 2 of tying up, and that's only 1 more rifle round and 1 more save, if they're able to win them in succession,
the
of course.
debate is you can pull like something like a nip right now, so this is what I want to see. It's because they're winning with force. Yes, they're up against... Okay, they do upgrade. The point I was going to make is if they stay with the SMGs, because by upgrading right now, look at Speedy. This drops him back down to 1150. So this actually means he's the only one. These guys will all be able to buy in the next due to not having to upgrade. Okay, so it still works out based on that. But I was going to say if they don't upgrade, they actually save economy later, and it's almost like it's a 50-50 play. Like if you win with those SMGs, you build your economy even further. But if you upgrade, and even though if you lose, then you go back to a save, you don't get that second round buy. Whereas if you stay, even if you lose, you can. But they're in good position.
Yeah.
They're in good position to still do that anyway. Dennis does come around the corner. Next, though, that's a team kill. Accidentally shooting in the back of Dennis's head. Gobby making up for it, though. We'll take down Victor, and that looks like, even though they're a man down on that team kill, they do have a good entry right now in toward the site.
Oh, they might be. Oh, they think that there's nobody else in B, but they actually stacked 3 in. That forward B play was just kind of to use their players as sacrificial lambs, and Bubble does find a second one with his 1 spray, so very good from GPlay. Pretty much baited mousesports into their strategy, and the nades down banana really ruined Chris Trey. But as you mentioned, not upgrading those SMGs. I mean, if they say they lost that round, right? So it would have been beneficial to have bought that SMG or just kept that SMG that they ended up rebuying. It ended up not mattering too much, but like as we see, Speedy only has a Tech 9 right now, so that makes a lot of sense, and you can do quite a bit of damage with the Mac 10, and even if, or with an MP7 or whatever it was, but even if you know, he has a Mac 10 or MP7, he could pick up a gun from a teammate who died.
Miss nade. Takes damage.
That was close.
So already they've taken damage from teammates again. Both times in banana. A little bit cluttered. So NKL holding the front side of Boiler. They do actually have Dreamer holding off in pit. So this is good position right now from GPlay. And it's passive though. With NKL this far back, it actually means Dreamer has to focus on Boiler now. So he'll play it from the truck and fall into pit as soon as he doesn't make that exchange with his teammate covering off the entry. So this still works out. It still is decent, but it's more passive. It gives up more control on the front side of Arch and specifically on the front side of middle. But the rotation from Bubble, this is a good support play as well because he knows if they're going to give up this lane, he might as well give up this one, and then they essentially trap them on A. But it looks like back to B is where the terrorists are heading.
Yeah, and this might favor mousesports as GPlay haven't decided to rotate yet, and mousesports aren't going to full execute at all. They're just going to hit their entry immediately, smoke CT off, and we're going to retake, but Spy Leader grabs one crossing. And that's a 4v4, but the bomb is going down. And we still have a lurker, Speedy, in the apps, who's going to catch his pit player, most likely a Dreamer.
No
fully aware,
slowed.
though.
No smoke slowed. After this one goes away, they'll have clear entry. Speedy does. Oh, that's beautiful with the Tech 9.
Wow.
That's massive. But there's no smoke, so this one's gone. They can't cover off from construction. They have to win these one-on-one duels. Chris J is doing his job. NKL now finds himself as the last man remaining, and next will find him. So that's really well done to win those duels, because no smoke in either choke point on the retake.
Yeah. And even though GPlay were able to win a round before, they kept 3 players alive, still have no opportunity to buy right now. Are going to do it anyway. 5-7s, nades, pistol. 5-7s and nades. I mean, CZs, 5-7s, nades. That's all they got. Victor does have an incendiary, but they're giving themselves a pretty low percentage chance to win this round. But I think it's because they anticipate having the double save anyway.
Anticipation is key. Dreamer underneath patio, support from NKL. But again, they lose that one round, they could still buy out, and then they end up winning that gun round. So it's not like they went right back to a reset. And that's why the SMGs are so powerful. I wish more and more North American teams would pick up on that. Just that simple money factor.
Right. I know. After just watching, you know, some matches, a few European matches, to see so many differences in the economy that are really simple once you see them occur, but some demo watching can be useful.
Bubble. Gets flashed. Still holding. Premature. Premature firation.
Premature. That's not a word, you know that?
Nah, it is. I just made it up. We can do that, you know. We're in that position. I mean, who's going to argue with us? There's no one listening anyway, right? There's no one in chat that's super critical of us. Good entrance, though. Double smoke out on the balcony, excuse me. That gives them the way in. But Speedy trying to come back over. The kills have already come in. Everyone's doing already the job for mousesports, but decent response from GPlay with only these pistols. Victor now comes around. It's Chris J that's out in the middle of nowhere with that very low HP. But with the bomb down, Gobbeat smoking it off. Victor does pick up the AK, has a lot. Oh, this is desperate. He's going to go through this smoke. They're going to be able to buy next round anyway based on this save.
Victor knows one's in pit. I mean, he at least assumes that. This bomb is not planted for Gob. I mean, he's going to have to jump up. Oh, but Vic doesn't have a kit. This is going to be a tough one. Gob's opting not to peek right here. Oh, he was. Too late. Yeah, he was so close, but.
So actually, I called that they were going to be able to buy this round anyway. They would have been really tight. So the fact that he gets a little bit of bonus money, yeah, look, they still can't. So saving that gun and getting those kills, that's almost a double win in a way. But no kit, no round, and now we're within 1 from mousesports. This is it. This is turning out to be the half that they needed.
Yeah,
and
they could actually
map up already.
I mean, they almost did it with having all these rounds of succession. I mean, they didn't get eco'd. The first rifle round they ended up losing, but because, as we mentioned, the SMG saves, they were able to buy again the next round anyway, win that one, which is super crucial for their economy, and put GPlay on a double save. I mean, this is best case scenario for them. They still got legwork to do. I mean, every round is not going to be in their favor, but if they can hit entries, they can do a good job. Victor, super blind. Oh my goodness, already 2 entries at the B site.
Oh, but Bubble, they almost lined up. He actually does get Gobby. He almost got Chris J as well because the first shot with that shotgun nearly did damage through the first. But again, shotgun's not overly penetrable. Still really well played to stay on the front side of that smoke. Flash goes a little bit deep. He doesn't get blinded. Makes it interesting for us. But Speedy's going to find Dreamer. They've given up on that B side as a response to those kills. And
That
NKL
was
is nowhere to be
unreal.
found.
That was like a single body shot. Nova killed that second. Wow. High impact. And just like that, I mean, they're stealing it back. Had GPlay invested money in this round, mousesports win it, and if they can continue to just get 2 entries, take a site that easily, rounds that easily, keep 3 players alive, get a bomb plant, they're looking in place to just come back on this. I mean, it's pretty insane. Both these teams very T-sided, it seems.
It seems in this match, which again is not normally what we see out of Mouse. At
Yeah.
least, it's 50-50 though with Mouse, because with this current roster, again, if you play super passive and know that they're going to get aggressive, if you can win the battles once they push forward onto you, you can actually shut their CT side down, which is a big risk, and therefore they do have to have a reliable T side. So it's good that they can pull these rounds out when they need to, because if they have just that one sort of go-to play, that aggressive CT side, and again they do get caught off, then they're done. They're match over on that half alone.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that they can perform when they need to on the opposing side as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's always a drawback of being really good at the T sides. Like, if you're really good at T sides, then typically you're going to be overly aggressive on the CT side. It's the only reason that you do so well on the CT side or on the T side, because you're focused when it comes to peeking into someone's angle, taking that aggression, and so it is a trade-off. But mousesports are known for their really good CT setup, so it's kind of perplexing how it goes both ways with them. See where you're coming from. Victor using a one-way smoke here at B. These can be all too obvious, though. They see the smoke. They might try to spam it. And yeah, Chris J peeks right into that angle. No problem.
Yeah, well done by Chris J. Good execution. The problem is that, like you say, it's a one-way smoke, but players know it so well that it's just easy to spam through it. Spy Leader, though, well done by him. Actually gets to the AK in time, and that's a huge play. That's massive. 2 with the pistols. Doesn't get taken down by Gob as he falls back through the smoke, interestingly enough, because if he had secured that angle in that position, there was very low ammo left inside the P250. He had to go for the rifle, and because he gets it, just makes it a triple quite quickly.
Yeah, and what's next going to do here? I mean, the bomb is within the smoke. He could run out and grab it, but he doesn't want anyone to be right in front of it. So he's going to chain smokes here. Chain smoking, never a good idea in life, but in this situation, probably work out really well. Bubble actually finds one of them with the 5-7 as well. Is it going to be an eco from GPlay? That would be a huge upset for Mousesports, who are doing so well.
Huge upset. They do have decent money built up on, well, actually only on Chris J, so it would be massive, but Nex is not going to allow it to happen, or at least doesn't want to allow it to happen. No gun to work with. He has to switch over to the Glock. He gets very aggressive, does catch Bubble, but the problem is by getting aggressive, it allows NKL a little bit closer to the site on this retake, and he still hasn't had time to reload, so he'll plant this bomb. But NKL with the AK is going to be in a position, no, he thinks it's right side. He doesn't know where the plant comes in, and he doesn't spot, oh, does he spot him jumping? He does now. He definitely saw his head pop out that time. And the nade's going to come through from NKL. That'll do Nex a little bit of damage, who's somehow still on this Glock. How has he not gone for this reload on the AK yet? Oh, massive damage dealt. Now he can switch back over to the Glock. Goes for the spray shot. Not able to do it. He just has to wait and bait this out. And unfortunately, he has no information on where NKL is, but fortunately, he doesn't push it. Next, he'll secure the round so close to an eco for GPlay. And still the money's weak, though. Aside, again, from Chris J, it's quite weak. Okay, now they actually pull it back up for Nex. Just because he wins out that round with a Glock kill, it actually brought him a lot further back into it.
What a legend. Oh, that was an insane 1v3. Like, he pushed to that guy at car because he knew he had to kill him to get the bomb down. That was insane. A lot of players would have just gone for the plant knowing that they could just get the bomb down for money. I mean, he was playing to win that round. And I don't know how he ended up with the Glock at the end of that, but he still, like, confidently peeked out, got a headshot, and actually did it 1v3. That was huge. It was versus an eco, but it was a situation where they dropped so many guns, it looked like he was the one on the eco.
Flash bounce. Good timing on it because he was flashed himself, but really good pressure on Gobby. Or rather, on a Dreamer, excuse me, from Gobby as he went down first. But Speedy, there's your double entry. He's going to put this bomb in position. They have a smoke out to cover off the front of Library. Now, second one that goes even deeper. Chris J's going to work beyond that. So if they come out of Library, they only have one angle to hold, and that's going to be Chris J's position. So as a result, already a save from GPlay.
Already, yeah. That's once again, they're having their way with GPlay at either site, and GPlay can't figure it out. I mean, this is when teams get pressure to do these aggressive pushes down mid. Or aggressive push down B.
This is really smart to pursue because Chris knows they're going to be weak on economy.
Yeah, and he can walk it, and he started early, so he won't have to run at all, considering when the bomb is going to go off now. He knows someone's going to holding an angle, but will he find the frag? Anyway, Spy Leader having an awkward trade situation, but Victor comes out with the crossfire, makes sure that he doesn't die. Mousesports already up to 13. I mean, if GPlay lose another round, they're able to save 2 guns here, and it would make sense for GPlay to just buy behind this, and it looks like they will. So if they fight through this, though, GPlay are going to be on a match point with like the worst force buy you can imagine.
That's the thing. It's still close in that regard, but mousesports have definitely done the task to come back from a 5-round deficit. So only that one round, the 19th round, the first gun round, actually, we talked about how if they won that first gun round, they could bring this back. But again, that ability to being able to buy in the next one as well, essentially did the same thing.
Yeah.
Dreamer's in a good spot, though. He already spots Speedy crossing over, tries to go through, but that smoke gets in position a little bit too soon for him to have the vision and hit the angle. And look what this does, just to the complexion on B side alone. It pulls NK back. They have to give up that arch side, or rather that truck side. Bit more aggressive from Bubble to still hold front mid, but now he's going to have to fall. They have to fall. If one goes passive, the other does as well. It has to be in cohesion.
Yeah, and so mousesports have that map control right now. I mean, they have forward brackets control. They could do whatever they want on the map, and it's on GPlay to like have to rely on tight holes. They can't just early rotate people based on no information, and that allows mousesports to sell a fake whenever they want. And it looks like they're starting to do that, smoking off right mid. But oh, Bubble peeks out aggressively and finds a frag. They know it's probably going to be V, and he's going to cheat over.
Fires in place. Dennis, though, nice shot. I'm surprised he actually hit that one. And he'll fall back. It's going to be next now on the entry, who has to come in and find the shot. Does on Victor. Needs to get the second one as well, and he actually manages to. My goodness.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm shocked on how he managed to pick up that second one up close. So Dennis going to go ahead and try and flash over. The only thing he does is actually blind up his teammate in next, but it will prevent the retake coming in. And again, NKL is going to go join Dreamer, who's having a bit of a nightmare in the last few rounds because GPlay are slipping behind late.
That was a nightmare of a round to lose once again. GPlay did give up that back control, did give up that banana control, but then had Bubble push into arch, aggressively knowing that they needed that information. Got a frag too, had the man advantage, rotated early enough to B to catch the execute, and still next just pooped on him. Just
frags from everyone.
Yeah, I mean everyone's making these hero plays right now. I mean Nex has 2 rounds to his name already, in my opinion, with that 1v3 at least. But yeah, good frag distribution as you mentioned.
Yeah, decent frag distribution. The only one that's behind is NKL.
Yeah, who we saw be so good on overpass.
So Speedy goes for this angle on the bridge to try and shoot into Boiler, make sure no one pushes it, but there's flashes out. They're pushing down mid off of this. Really good play from GPlay, really smart play from GPlay. They get deep without even being spotted up, and GPlay is taking a page out of the book of mousesports as Victor does massive damage. Talk about a curveball. You know you haven't been winning the rounds, so you go ahead and find aggression for yourself, and next who comes back up from the underpass will find Victor, who also found Speedy before that. So awesome Speedy round from him indeed, as Victor does all the damage. 3 kills. And those flashes came out. We saw them come out, and I'm surprised there wasn't a call, because if flashes come out from the trajectory they did and catch off the player who was on the bridge, he should be able to call for his teammates that they're coming down, but they were so deep already. They were already past bench at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. I mean, they got down mid, and it was good execute. You have to have like a really good plan for pushing down mid. I mean, it's super aggressive. You usually do it when you're on the back foot, so it might be a little bit obvious sometimes. That time it ended up working, but
make or break
issues
round
that
for
they can't
economy
do
right now, by the way.
Right. I mean, and they can't do that again, so they have to rely on their side holds once again. So, and that's been their main issue, so they got to be worried about this. They just got to be happy about they put a round on the board, but they're still 2 behind.
Pops out, Victor, good crossfire. Chris J dropping as well. Perfect hold from GPlay this time on B site. So this will force things back over toward the A side as Bubble holding in arch. Dreamer on the truck. So again, it's NKL. They're playing this more like a nip style hold where Forrest gets behind the tow truck and just watches in front Boiler, using the window for cover, and then using the second player to just make sure no one gets above him. As soon as someone comes out, he'll fall back deeper inside the pit, get to cover, and then they'll just go even more passive. So this is cool to see that GPlay is running this tactic.
Yeah, it's always a really good place to stand. That truck is very overpowered. Oh, and a rough nade right now means that he's going to stay alive right there. Gob is going to take a lot of damage as well. Next goes down instantly.
But there's what we see. Dreamer falls back. Okay, Fire gets him post-mortem, but the counter-terrorists are going to pick up the round. And like we said, that's make or break for economy. So mousesports might still have the lead, but this could go back to a tie game, and CT side tie game late. Still looks good for GPlay, who have composed themselves much better, but we saw that happen. Dreamer actually didn't quite get the first pick through the crack on the truck, but he did pick up the second one, falling back deeper on him. As soon as he falls back and covers apartment, NKL can then shift out and take the peak, and that throws off the offense because they have to watch 2 angles on entry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look at that mid push once again in retrospect. It was just so important because if mousesports had won that and it was just another rifle round, they would be in a position. And that was pretty 50-50 in my opinion. In a position to just bring it to match point, and now we're in a position where it's going to be tough for them to win because they just lost the sight hold as well. They might have just completely lost their momentum.
Oh, Speedy's in a hard place right now as he gets forward to that fire. And there's no teammates to help him out. The fire actually burns away on next. So there we go, 14-14. Swift economy now working for the CTs as they're in decent position. Full upgrade, though, coming in from Bubble. They're going to stick with these rifles. It's been working. There's no reason to see these ops come out in the second half. We haven't seen, have we seen one at all? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think we've seen a single one. And Inferno is a map where if you have a good opper, why not give it to him? But at the same time, you don't need an op on CT or T side to win a round. It's just not. It's not necessary. It might be in a situation where you're losing this many CT rounds as GPlay have been, but they've obviously figured something out. And
Yeah, I don't think we
mousesports.
have. Based on the equipment value of individual players and the team average, I don't think we've seen an op all half.
Yeah, can't remember that sound ever been fired, but yeah, this is a round that mousesports would be.
That was a peculiar flash in apartments. There was
Yeah, I saw
no
that.
reason for that. What was that about?
I think it did it flash behind him at the long haul, like, or at least they tried
Yeah,
to
but
make it.
that's, I mean, that's expecting a lot of an aggressive defense. I mean, I guess if he's there and you win that, it looks brilliant. But that just goes to show they're playing in the back of their minds at this point if they think they're going to be that aggressive.
Speed is just ahead of his time, man. This is the 2016 meta. And look at the just look at the minimap right now. Look how defensive G player playing, and this is going to be an issue for them if they don't have this forward back control. Mousesports are going to be able to do whatever they want. They have to rely on side holds. They were able to do a banana. That's going to be a big problem. Now we have some sort of an execute here, but people aren't coming up mid. They just want to burn all the mollies, and they're doing just that.
Well, they are doing just that. Around the corner they go. Chris J needs to come out and hit this shot on Dennis, or rather, pardon me, onto Bubble on the slide because Dennis already went down. Dreamer, though, inside pit, man. What a reaction shot catching off Speedy as he tries to drop down in behind. And Gubby, although he gets one, it's GPlay's map point. Well done.
Wow, Dreamer getting 3 frags from the pit. That was insane. I mean, Speedy jumped out of apps, had the perfect drop on him. Dreamer wasn't even looking at him. Dreamer just looked at him and deleted him. That was great.
Deleted him, I like it. In real life, there is no reset button. And Counter-Strike is straight life.
I went outside once. The graphics not so great.
Dude, did you burn alive? It's really hot here today. I'm scared.
I'm tan, man. You know that.
I'm not gonna say anything. I plead the fifth on the racial stance.
My monitor is really bright.
Well, pretty standard formation. It's unfortunately a force buy of Tech-9s to try and close out this match. We saw how quickly, you're right, that push around at mid turned this back the other way because the economy broke after that point for mousesports losing 2 in a row. In fact, it's been more than that. It's been 4 in a row late after only winning 1. So the half was good for mousesports. They actually pulled themselves in again. 10-5 deficit at halftime. To make this as close as it is pretty good. It has to be said, but you got to cross the finish line in first place. Bubble, though, is in a tight spot with his fire out. Does do massive damage. Dennis doesn't take a whole lot in return, actually. And smoke on Arch, he falls through it. This won't give him vision, but it also won't give the T's vision, and he uses it to his advantage. Catching out on Dennis. Speedy manages to get inside pit. Now Nex is making a case for this because they found NKL. Now they have a chance to get this bomb in position, but it's down on the Arch side. Oh, that's so detrimental. They have to come all the way around to find this. Nex is doing a good job of getting around and actually burns away on Spy Leader. Goes for the peak. Victor finds one. Chris J gets back into it, and Victor, it's down to a one-on-one. He's low HP, and Speedy now has the M4 and the bomb. Remarkable play to win those picks on the truck side because that made it all possible even though that bomb was down. And really good aggression for them all to push forward together, but Speedy almost caught when he goes back around the corner. Tries to get this in position, and he pops out. What a shot from Speedy. We're going to OT. Heroic play, and actually good teamwork, it has to be said, but heroic to win that 1-on-2, an overtime pending MR5, 16K. This is going to go the distance.
Oh my goodness, Speedy with not enough time to plant the bomb decides to peek out, and he could have planted if he wanted to and just been put in a really awkward situation, but just knew that Victor was going to push up there and won that 1v1. That was insane to do that. So brave in the last moment of the last round of the game. And that's what I was talking about, man. Speedy just acting on that information.
if you don't ready up in time at the halftime sometimes like that, if you don't get right back into it, you can use that actually as an extended timeout that you're not supposed to have. So
Right.
it's kind of cool to see them, a lot more teams using that. So we are going to get ready. It looks like Dennis has finally agreed to play the game again, and 15-15 again. Okay, overtime's actually set to MR3. I thought it was MR5 in this league, so my mistake. So it might be MR3. It looks like it's going to be a 10K start as well. So it's MR3. It is going to be MR3. My mistake on that call.
So the only thing to point out about MR3 for people that aren't used to this format is that my opinion is that if you lose 2 rounds in a row, you spend all your money.
It's Christian
Right.
that paused it. Dennis calls the pause. So it looks like this is going to be somewhat tactical right now from mousesports. And again, they're on the T side. They had an excellent start to that last half, as we saw, winning of the first, 16-25. Do math real quick for me. First 11 rounds, they won 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They won 9 of the first 10. Sorry. But that's still really good. And then all of a sudden it turns on the head when the economy breaks. So they need to get back into this right now and go back to what was working. Unfortunately, it was the aggressive play from GPlay that started the payoff for them. So if they can catch them off on that, they might have a chance.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, GPlay they kind of want to pepper that kind of play in because it's not sustainable on the CT side, as we talked about. Like, it's not a very aggressive, friendly map like Overpass is. And so calculated aggression sometimes in very limited areas can work out, but it's not a sustainable model. They do have to work with the side holes. But I think like only rounds that they are able to win when they play passively is when Bubble comes up arch and like peeks down middle and tries to even out or get that information. And that does work out for them. But I think you should favor that forward banana control. Like, they aren't doing it often enough. And if they throw nades down banana, I mean, they've caught Chris J off guard so many times. He's taking 60 damage at the beginning of rounds all the time.
Well, here we go. Overtime is back underway. Smoke out on Bubble. He does get a nade down mid first, and they're going to go for this boost on the patio for Dreamer, but it's so close to being late. They come through. He actually still manages to get the shots. That was extremely close, and Dreamer pops back out. GPlay has a Dreamer. This guy's living it right now. As NKL, he shifts back to watch Speedy. That flash comes out. That smoke will allow him to get inside the pit, but Spy Leader finds Chris J, and it's all left to Speedy. He actually does take down NKL, but a lot of fire damage coming in, and Bubble up top in the site takes him off. That was so close, and the fact that both players lived was strictly due to Dreamer having extremely sharp reactions.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great shooting from him. Another crucial situation where he was getting rushed and was just able to deal with it. Now, mousesports did talk about that round for a few minutes, I'm sure, and decided to take it fast up mid. It didn't work out, and I wonder what they'll do. GPlay able to put together these 2-3 rounds on the CT side. They should have no problem coming away with 1 on T.
Good play by Gobby. Good response, Dennis, as well, but the nade, Gobby so low on HP, Victor picks up the kill. But they've got the trade working in their advantage, and remember, if you're going aggressive with these buys, Chris J, 1600 as well for next, you're going to have to save in the 3rd round of overtime, and you can't afford on Inferno to give up all 3 rounds to the CT side, because it's the T side, that 1 round that can often carry you enough. So even if you have to play for double overtime, you still need to get a 1 T-sided round.
100%, yeah.
Typically speaking, at least.
Yeah, typically speaking. And GPlay don't have the man advantage right now. Don't have much going on in B. Spy Leader has been known to kill 2 people, as legend has it, at the B site when holding, but
legend has it.
throwing the molly down, and Chris J just peeks right over it. And that's the site right now. I mean, that's pretty much the round in my opinion.
I love this Asimov. It's super well worn. Profound aggression.
Is it the black scope?
Yeah, I haven't seen a super well-worn Asimov like that. Sometimes I think some of the lower-tier skins are actually way cooler.
Yeah, I actually love that black scope.
Chris J gets 1, Speedy gets 2, and there it is. There's your T-side round. And in fact, they do it early before it gets out of hand. Secures the economy, as they needed to do. And we're going to see op either side.
Wow, if we look at the kills right now, it's actually like 4 out of 5 people are 20 to 24 for mousesports and 28 to 24 for GPlay. Like, the differences are abysmal. It's only NKL and Gobby kind of anchoring right now. Chris J gonna peek right into Arch and actually finds Bubble right away, so eliminates that op on the other side of the map and has free reign over here. He could split B by himself. Really awkward to be the man pushing through Arch with an op, but it's gonna try to do it.
Dennis gets flashed in, well dodged, well executed. Mousesports have the entry as Victor does get taken down. Spy Leader back to Chris J. And the rotation has to be swift and strong as Nex throwing out a flash, and that's a really deep smoke. That's all the way to the truck. So this not only gives them position to watch as they come in, but it also gives them the ability to float through construction as they want to. And potentially get down to tree. There's so many angles they can use to their advantage as Nex. Look how aggressive he's being because of this. And it's all left to NKL and Dreamer. 2 rounds picked up mousesports. Again, I do that mistake, but in overtime, if they can close this out, Dreamer, there it is, Speedy. That's really looking good for them now as they switch back over to the CT side.
100%. I mean, they're going to look back at that and see their CT side. They're going to consider their mistakes. Obviously, we saw this be a pretty T-sided map overall. GPlay and mousesports coming over with so many rounds on their T side, but in this OT, everyone's going to learn from their mistakes and consider the CT side easier still. So them winning the 2 rounds there, especially after coming away with such a decent half, is going to be hard on GPlay's confidence. But did have very solid executions in their half to kick it off. So I'm sure feel like they're still in this.
Again, mousesports is up 1 map. It's best of 3. Mousesports will move on to the league if they win this, and GPlay will have to bid farewell. It's a close game. It has to be said considering mousesports. We talked about it. It's essentially Penta who got a direct invite with that roster. And they'll play off against Gamers too. They get to pick their group as well, so it'd be cool to see them go against Penta in Group B if they wanted to. But that's neither here nor there. It's coming up based on the results of this map, because we may see Dust 2 yet, as the early damage does slightly favor right now onto mousesports, as NKL's down to 67. And Dennis pushing through, does catch off Spy Leader. Good aggressive play, flashes himself in. So blind they were. As Chris J pops out from the back, make it 1, make it 2, make it 3. Can he make it 4? Up close, no, whiffs on the shot, unfortunately, as Bubble gets him. But this is definitely looking really good right now for mousesports, as they want to secure this first match point and give themselves 2 opportunities to wrap it up. They're going to do it. Next takes down Bubble.
Within 1 of winning all of a sudden. That was a perfectly timed boiler push. I mean, that can just really ruin your plans as a T waiting to execute. I mean, splitting boiler like that would have been critical for them, and Dennis knew that flash timing was going to ruin that plan. So GPlay getting outplayed there and outshot are going to have a tough time confidence-wise coming back into this round, which might be their last round of these 2 maps. I mean, this is their last opportunity to qualify for Counterpit, and if they aren't able to do it, I mean, can't think of it any other way but feeling quite upset, I'm sure.
I was trying to highlight the player, but unfortunately the map was slightly in the way. This is a really interesting setup. Really interesting passive crossfire that pretty much favors off just the front of apartments. But it would be up to Dennis to basically get the first shot, get the read. The problem is, even if he drops down to take the fight at front truck, he's still going to be spotted from the guy at apartment before Nex can see him. So they pretty much have to sit stationary and let them come all the way to the A site. But I like this position from Nex. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's posted right now. He can catch people crossing truck or on apps, and unfortunately for us, I guess, to watch this, the aggression is over towards B. The smoke does come out. Chris J is primed to pop flash and speed. He's actually rotated back to A, but I think they have some good information that it might be B, and he's going to throw Molly down.
Chris spotted up, though. He drops. So it doesn't work out as NKL now does even more damage. Spy Leader comes through the smoke that was still deployed at top banana, and he comes through late, which catches off Speedy entirely. So finally, GPlay look poised to get back into this. Again, it is match point right now for mousesports in this first overtime. This will bring us back to within 1 and a potential double overtime if they can equal the task of getting 2 T rounds. Dreamer coming around, big flank, spotting up next, takes the shot, easily done. Well executed, and now Dennis is in a dilly of a pickle.
Yeah, he's got a rough road ahead of him right now. He doesn't have enough time to win this round. There's 3 players left alive. He can go for it and still buy because they've already secured a round.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say, is that they've already bought. Now, he's got them on low HP, but yeah, the bomb's ticking far too quickly. So all he needs to do is just make sure he hurts the economy because, well, no, they're going to win a round, so it won't matter. This will equalize. It just adds and cushions
shooting for fun. Yeah, exactly. Stat padding was Dennis on that round. Just warming up for this one, as this will be the last round of first OT. I mean, GPlay could win it right here and now. I mean, bring it to double OT, that is, and mousesports could come away with a big W. And that would be huge after quite a comeback on the T side.
They get really aggressive toward Banana Chris J. Why would he peek that with no flash from a teammate, no smoke out to cover off the teammate, so they rush in for free? That's a really over-aggressive for no reason peek from Chris J.
That was rough, really counting on hitting a shot there. But not expecting the double peek from GPlay, who have been so aggressive on Banana, and this leaves mousesports in a 3-on-5. No entries, no damage on GPlay whatsoever.
And I mean, that's the aggressive peek we normally see Chris J try and take with an AWP, but with a rifle and no flash at all, that's questionable. So Spy Leader now Gets Gobby, and it's Nex and Dennis who have to go for this retake. We're looking at double overtime right now. It's definitely looking like that's going to be highly probable. As they have the, yeah, this bomb's, yeah, this is done. It's going. It's going, boys.
Wow,
Double
they did it.
OT. Now, double OT with an overtime, this is the kind of things that if you're playing in Vulcan, these are actually really good situations because everyone's just getting so many points in these games.
Right. So you made those picks for sure. I mean, what a game though so far.
Cindy said for Gobby. But either way, yeah, no, this is an awesome game. This is really cool to see.
Yeah, and actually 2 rounds apiece for both T sides, GPlay and mousesports in the OT.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We said they needed at least 1 T side if they wanted to make a case. They both got 2. And I actually thought when Mousesport were able to get that, they'd have a better hold. But obviously their B side was a little bit weak. They played really passively back inside the site and gave up a lot of banana pushes. And again, that Chris peak was just really questionable. That was, I mean, that essentially gave up that round because, again, there was no smoke out behind him either. So as soon as they get the kill and they go, oh, it's completely open. All right, let's just push. And then Gobby was caught as well.
Yeah, that was rough. And we'll have to recoup here. Fortunately for mousesports, at least, they will be starting on the CT side and get another chance to come away with a solid half. But GPlay, coming off a really good T side, are going to be feeling good about the fact that they did get 2 rounds. And once again, shut down Chris J from peeking middle, who's about to prime a flash with this smoke down middle, so they'll have control of it, and we'll be actually walking up apps right now together.
Gobby. Oh, Gobby has to nail this one. Falls. Probably the smartest play because Nex is in position to support. Spots back, takes one down, but Gobby's already dropped, and with Dreamer taking down Nex, puts a lot of pressure on this rotate. Look how weak Dennis is, but they do have the man advantage. They need to make this work because unfortunately both of the rotators are slow to get there. Chris tries to take a shot through the box, doesn't catch anything that time, and Dennis again so low on HP. He's going to get dropped. These post positions now are decent, and with that fire out, Speedy can't get close enough to the site.
Yeah, bomb plan for apps and pit, so they've got a tough round to win with very little nades. Chris J only with a flash.
Bubble just doesn't need to peek. He can just wait this out. He can just wait this out. He can just wait it out and take down Speedy. Make it more. Yes, he gets Chris J as well. Played perfectly by him, and now GPlay get the first T round in overtime. This is even better start than we had before.
Yeah. I mean, that was actually a situation where Chris J could have thought about saving, having that off, because if they buy here again, they lose this round, they're going to be on a complete forest. We already see them down to very little money, and that's why I really like this format, because it does give some thought that economic process, your buying decisions on CT side, or even T side if you want to op, or auto. So down a round already. Best round to win on T side in an OT is the first one. And if they come away with a second, that's almost 3 for free.
Different setup this time. Look at Dennis waiting with his back for a pop flash to come over the top, but it won't get thrown. NKL won't push forward. Who's that supporting him this time? It's actually Speedy because Chris is over on the A site with his op. So this is desperate because look at Chris's money now. They're all on. There's 2 players on 0, in fact. And Dennis, burned down to 48 before anything even happens.
I mean, he was just sitting like he liked the heat, but he's going to stand his ground once again, looking right into this wall. I guess waiting for a pop flash, or waiting for them to pop flash through, so if one of them gets blind, the other doesn't. Oh, actually does some early damage on the bubble, and down to 12 HP already. Will they spot the Anchor Dreamer over at the other side? I'm not sure. But 3 out of 4 players here on the Executor, very, very hurt. And it looks like they want to just flash in immediately and go for this.
Go
full
quickly,
blind
indeed. Very quickly, but Speedy still manages to recover his position. Like you say, he was full blind, uses the USP, but unfortunately Dennis has fallen. This puts a lot more pressure, and they know where he is at Oranges too, so they'll flood in. And a nice shot by Spy Leader. Dreamer's going to be late to come over. He's your rotation. Oh, look at the HP. Look at the HP. Next takes down Bubble. There's even less to work with right now for Spy Leader, so he goes down. Bomb's not planted. That's crucial, and there was only 9 seconds, so there was very unlikely they were going to do anything. And in mousesports, they'll tie this back up before it gets out of hand.
Yep. Once again, they actually do tie it up. I mean, it was crucial that they did it, and it was off the back of just getting 1 or 2 entries. I mean, the rounds that GPlay have won are rounds that they're able to get in the site for free, getting 2 picks, getting the bomb down, and forcing mousesports on like an impossible retake where we don't even consider their chances of winning. If mousesports just put themselves in a position to get 1 pick, maybe 2, they almost have a great chance to win the round, but GPlay have done such a great job of getting into sites, no problem, hitting that first entry right off the bat. And that has been a hallmark of these 2 teams. Is the opening picks are often results in round wins completely. So we might have to see a similar a similar strategy sought out from both of them, who are so fierce on the T side. Fierce banana aggression right now.
It is crazy that both teams are doing this well T side this map.
Yeah.
Although you could argue GPlay had a struggle at the start of it. This is really good aggression from Dennis. Not surprising. Although he's playing it with a really forward peak angle as opposed to in the corner.
I think this is like people flash through and then they like clear left and right away. So it's like middle, even though it's like more obvious, is like less obvious now.
They want
Victor
Victor
to flash the art.
corner. Oh, he walks out too soon, gets caught by that flash, but they're going to split. They actually are going to push through and wrap Library. This is even more than a split. This will catch the A player off. Victor here's one towards CT, tries to turn around, and Dennis is aware, but he's not aware there's two. So he only gets Spy Leader. Now they have a chance to open up this A side, and Victor's going to lurk back, make sure he takes down the rotators. The row potatoes as NKL gotta be down, and again we're looking at another 2 rounds for the T side as Dennis pops out, gets only one as Dreamer responding, and Speedy, no reason to save, he has to go for this, but look at the smokes. That was really good execution, and again
that was world-class strategy.
Man, that's crazy. We're gonna see 2 rounds again go to the T side.
Wow, just wait up at top mid, get top mid control, split tooth, arch to B to make it look like it's going to be a split B execute, and then wrap Library. That's beautiful. You catch the Library player off guard, leave him in a situation where they think that T's are just going to run by him to banana or to B through CT, and then try to get someone to push down mid. It's just, that was awesome. Very good strategy. I don't think we saw that earlier in the match too, so they've got a deep playbook.
So now it's their turn to potentially get onto a match point. The one that was elusive last time, or rather at least the win that was elusive last time for mousesports. And then KL's going to wait close up at the top of middle. mousesports is grouping toward alt middle, as we can see. Bubble waiting arch side. A lot of pressure on him right now as they will come through. And Bubble has to be sure of this. He's inside the cubby. He'll flash himself out, but they're already checking him, and he can't do anything. He can't respond fast enough as NKL will slide out to recover that lost ground. But unfortunately, this weakens over on Arch, or pardon me, on Truck's side. His next, he's going to weaken it even further. NKL gets caught falling back, and he'll make the second shot. Well played onto Dreamer.
Wow, so crucial to kill that pit player. This is GPlay in a 2-on-3 situation. Bomb's going to go down, full HP.
We're seeing a fully T-sided Inferno. A rarity, but a gem. Makes for exciting games, that's for sure, because this has definitely tossed up some cool rounds.
No doubt.
Bomb's still not in, yeah, like you say, down. This is problematic. Finally, Chris J gets it in position, but look how close Spy Leader is already to the site. And he'll be able to shoot. No, not take down Speedy. He gets the shot in return. So now Victor's the only one left. And this is the right call if they want to stay aggressively buying in this overtime, because look how low some of them have gone. 4,000. That's $6,000 spent by Bubble. Almost an equal amount on most of the teammates, and saving here will at least be able to get him to drop and potentially have someone else buy. Well, actually, he'll be able to, in a position to buy out an op and drop over his M4, and if they want to, they can throw the op then over to NKL or...
Yeah, it might be the adjustment they need to make. I feel like when Chris J picked up an op and like got 3 kills at Arch, that was a really good adjustment for mousesports, and it's something to throw into the mix in a match that's going on so many rounds, right? Second OT, I mean, both teams are about to bring it to a third. They both seem like they could easily come in with a round each right now, and I think that was definitely a good decision. Speedy managed to get away with 1 health in pit, but 1 health, the same as 100, and as long as you get the trade.
So Bubble looks for the angle on the crossfire right now with NKL, and again, it's a more passive setup on pit, although they do have Dreamer up on the balcony this time, so a bit better angle toward the apartments, but it looks like Mouse aren't even heading that direction right now. They want to head back over and at least scout this out. So it's more slow play this time. This actually looks a lot more default than most of the rounds we've seen. More standard for Inferno. Flash is going to come over top. This does force one player back. It's Spy Leader, but there's no smoke, so he pops back out. With Victor getting the first, he lines up both, and there it is. They just mow them down. That late smoke CT actually made a massive difference because Spy Leader had the advantage to repeak.
What a fantastic crossfire. Both players there getting 2 and 3 kills. Excellent hold overall. Like, they destroyed it right now, and they're in position to actually take this map. The GPlay are up in CT rounds, only need 1 round. I mean, this definitely favors them. Chris is going to pick up an op on the T side, something we haven't seen. And will that make a difference? I have no idea what to expect. Actually, he has picked it up 1 other time. I remember him peeking into CT right over that molly and killing a player. And actually, I was going to look for the opportunity. Doesn't find it quite. and actually does find one on the spools. Very aggressive peek, and they have the B site all of a sudden.
This is well played by Mouse. Now it's their turn to potentially force the second overtime because, again, match point for GPlay, but we're looking at such an amount of T-sided rounds in these overtimes. Dennis going to catch off Bubble. Nice play to dodge the flash. Now he has to be careful to dodge his own teammates. He manages to do so. But next now inside the site, where does he throw the smoke? Does he re-smoke CT or bounce it off the pillar and out toward Banana? He's going to re-smoke CT. And Chris J up close. He's magical, magnificent even in those positions. And Dreamer pushing in onto him will get the kill, but it's a 1-on-3.
Smoked out completely.
He does come through and hasn't been spotted up yet from the side. It's next to get the kill, and there we go, 21-21.
Oh my
Triple
goodness.
overtime, 52 rounds. That's a lie. I can't do math. 42 rounds already completed.
Oh my god, the amount of T rounds is unbelievable that we're witnessing right now. It's just the entries sometimes are just so strong. Both teams so fierce and aggressive that they're able to just come away. And again, Chris J going with the op as he was able to have such a huge impact right there. Not getting the first guy, but peeking out right into spools as GPlay had such success playing those same two spots last round that they attempted to do it again, and he punished them for that.
So NKL this time going to watch this. Oh, Patio, did he spot the player coming out of Boiler? How did Gob get out and back in that quickly?
That's what she said.
She wasn't wrong.
She was not wrong.
I mean, he did come out there and turn around quite quickly before a shot could come in. Again, though, Patio boost from Dreamer. And this time he's up early. We saw him get up late last time and still pick up two, but nice dink onto NKL and completely gooshes him down. As he does not have that head armor, but through the wall, that bullet obviously got deflected by something. Otherwise, it would have been a kill with an AK.
Yeah. Actually trading quite a bit of damage here. Gob and NKL down to the last points of health. That's going to favor
Victor, though.
the terrorists. And yeah, Victor alone in the site. Known to get a couple
waiting for
kills.
this flash to come through. They're going to wait, actually, for the smoke to fully dissolve. But Dennis with his back turn, no doubt, waiting for this flash. Victor still has a smoke. He places that out, and he's got support now coming in from his side. As we see, Bubble is there, and he actually wants to use this to his advantage. You flash one way, I'll flash the other. They touch each other. Does Victor work this out perfectly? I don't think he knows where he is. He's a little bit lost, but still not found. Bubble's going to find Gobby. And when does Victor eventually come out? He doesn't. Chris J finds him. Now they've got the site to work with again, so triple overtime again, continuing the trend of the terrorist advantages. NKL fires through the smoke, and the incandescence of the Molotov does at least prohibit his vision slightly, but Spy Leader finds Chris J. Dennis back to him, and it's down to a 2-on-2. This retake's entirely possible as NKL wants to lurk in through from construction, but Nex is waiting at Emo. Where's Dreamer? He's the one with the high HP. Actually, I lied. Nex is still alive. There's 3 men up, and it doesn't even matter. Dennis does both the kills, does the job, and mousesports, there it is. They'll get the early start.
I mean, two things that are fantastic about both teams right now is that they're able to get 2 entries really easily. And I mean, that might be a testament to a T side or just maybe something that these players or these teams on the CT side should consider, because stopping aggression on Inferno is typically what's the most easy to do. But at the same time, the flashes are so good on the T side. They're doing such a great job with that, and also their after plant setups are always perfect. I mean, we've barely seen any retakes won this map.
Well peeked by Victor. Well peeked by Victor indeed. Dennis did get Spy Leader, who was the one intended to drop the flash. As they do get Victor back. Bubble's there, though. 3-3, splitting up the defense a little bit, but they need to get one more read. That's the problem with Inferno, is that it's such a choke point on B that unless you get the entry, it really isn't that much of an advantage. Even a trade would give a retake a chance. But A's still going to be stacked with 2.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do in this situation? It's such a debate sometimes, because if you can get that one on B, you get the site, but at the same time, A is a little bit weaker and a little bit more open.
I mean, 3v3, it's going to be a 2-1 setup. They both know it. Either side is equally hard to take because that B is such a one choke point, whereas A you have to hold off 2. And so the NKL is easier to kill in this situation. Pit player much more difficult, and with full nades they might want to use them trying to take A. But if they can't flush Dreamer out of pit, they're gonna have a hard time.
It's almost like Arch is the key though, because then they have the option to cut off the rotation, and then they basically split it to a 1-1 either site. And it looks like that's exactly what Gob wants to try and do. That smoke will get him out a little further, and he gets the shot. Well played. NKL does go down. And Dreamer, though, you said it, he's going to be the harder player to flush out. He pops, gets next, turns back. No, not able to take the one on Speedy. So Bubble has to rotate over, and mousesports looking to get the first 2 rounds T-side this time. Maybe make an improvement. The problem is first 2 in a row. Look at the money for the CTs. This will be the first time we see it back-to-back, and as a result of that, they might actually force out the first eco of this overtime, and maybe that's the key to get us out of this deadlock.
Yeah, Bubble might even consider saving. I mean, he's on the full rotate, but he knows one's in the site. He's gonna go for the pick. Almost finds the second one.
That
Oh.
nade, man, holy crap. I almost said it. Holy shit, I might as well because that was that close. That nade gets the first 4 HP for Speedy. He drops. He had that. So well played to throw out that nade. Very, very narrow margin of defeat. But again, they're so low on money. Look, it's double FAMAS, and that's all they have to work with.
Wow, just for the sake of the economy, I was almost considering saving for him, but man, did I not think he would be able to come out with that. So close on that retake.
"37 kills for Dreamer. He leads the way. But look at NKL. They go for the boost
Probably
this time
suck.
on GPlay's side.
Dennis actually has 38. He's just in the middle of the scoreboard there,
You're
yeah.
right. Wow, look at Speedy, though. So Dennis is doing big work. You're right. That low because he's not going for bomb plants or diffuses. He's going for the entries and all the kills he can possibly get. Victor, though, responding back to Speedy. A lot of pressure right now.
Oh, great time to go be Spy Leader in a rotate spot with a CZ. I mean, they're going to force him to jump through a smoke.
He knows they're here, but there's no rotation still. And he
Oh,
actually might be the
towards
right
A.
call, because with that smoke out, they're going to try and just pull that rotation. The chances are, if they've already got it weak and they put shots in like that, that they are going to call for help, because the typical play is the early rotation on A with a fast rotation back. Problem is they've outthought themselves here.
Well, this is going to be a tough site to take right now. Everyone's going to be playing for 1 kill, and with equal trades. Oh, Next does find an entry, though. Will he find a second? Chris comes around the corner swinging.
Victor's in the site. Victor's unspotted in the site. They almost line it up. He gets the shot on the first, but he puts away all his ammo trying to get the shot onto Gob, who just pops up, takes him down. And Dennis, he'll close it out. So all 3 T rounds go. Well, we can't use that graph because it only shows regulation. Please, Valve will fix. But it does go all 3 rounds to mousesports. Impressive stuff. So this gives them 3 match points, or rather 2. At least 2. Actually, no, I take that back. 3 match points this time to work with, and potential victory coming the way of mousesports. We'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, they're finally in a position where they don't need that many CT rounds. In fact, they only need 1 to come away with a victory. And, I mean, if there's a time to do it, it's now. Finally get into a position where they can actually most likely win. I mean, you'd think 2 T rounds was enough, but we've seen that not be the case. 4 halves in a row.
Oh, Dennis. Oh, that was close. I thought they were going to go through those smokes. He was actually at quad, which would have been a reasonable position, but he gets a little bit forward of it, throws out that flash, tries to use it himself, somehow doesn't connect the shot, though, so Victor's found a way in, and that nade takes down Speedy. This isn't done at all, as it looks like, again, the terrorist team is going to take full control of a site relatively easily. As Victor, 50 HP, 48 Spy Leader, that's all they take, and as a result, they're already saving. This is a smart call from mousesports to already save, because the big thing is that they've got 3 match points, and if they go for this, lose it, they lose the next one. They effectively have to eco, similar to what we saw from GPlay, and then they throw it basically away. So early save is the right call based on the rounds they have to work with.
Yeah, now they have 2 more buys in their hands. I mean, they've ultimately only lost 2 players. This means that GPlay aren't going to want to let them save, because no matter what, if they win, they're going to have 2 more binds as well. So just looking for these kills is going to be great for them. Oh, Chris J misses a shot. Lets the players know where he is, but they've got to stack up an apps that's going to be hard to deal with, and they do hang on to those guns. And mousesports do have to come away with 1. I know that doesn't sound like a small feat, or that does sound like a small feat on CT side, but we've seen that be difficult coming across these CT rounds. I think on this banana, they need to go for that banana control because it's so easy to defend. Not playing the site and wait for an execution. They didn't even have a crossfire in that situation, and GPlay, you know, can't be slept on.
Speedy forward, does get bomb, or rather, excuse me, grenade, a hand bomb. Out. Had the smoke in position to fall back on, but they don't put it out just yet. And this gives Victor the chance to get inside the site. Again, late smokes. We saw them pay the price for this in the regulation halves, in fact, when GPlay came in and entered. Speedy, though, will get back into Victor. That's all he's going to get. NKL knows he's stuck inside Orange's 1. He's going to go for this plant. And man, oh man, again, this B site seems to be the kryptonite for mousesports, and GPlay definitely are aware of that. This is crazy. They're going to give up yet another match point to work with. This is insane.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, there's no sense in going for that. I mean, they could go for it, I think, and still be able to buy. They basically just want to hang on to this up, and we'll be able to rebuy, but I mean, want to make sure they have enough money for everything that they need. But that's insane. GPlay won those 2 rounds in a row. I mean, the only difference now...
massive work, by the way.
Seriously, I mean, in that site, there was no trade. No crossfire. There's a crossfire the second time around, but they weren't able to knock down those 2-3 people. I mean, I would just put Chris up at the spools, and that would be easy enough to stop GPlay, who are just walking in at this point.
Yeah, Chris at spools would be one way to do it. The other is to look at the way TSM does it and get far more aggressive, which usually favors their style. They haven't done that in a while. Chris at
Right.
spools seems like a safer bet, though, in overtime for sure. Next is going to go over to this pillar spot again this time, and they actually are coming, so we may get to see this work. We actually may get to see this really cool crossfire with Gobby finally come to fruition, and Gobby's playing a more aggressive angle on it this time, so he'll be able to spot it out, and he's already done full distraction damage onto them. This will give them the position, and Next does it. Well played. He just waits for the distraction from Gobby, and now they've got a chance here. They finally, and it's a curveball. GPlay, they had B. They go A for apparently no reason other than the fact that they maybe anticipated a stack given how easily they've been able to take B. And it works out well for mousesports. There it is. They're going to get it. We do it in 3 overtimes, 25-23. Mousesports end up taking this in 2 maps, but that was an excellent second game. And they'll be the team that moves forward to play against Gamers 2. Now, both of those teams, Gamers 2 and mousesports, are into the league. They are into the groups. The reason they play one more game is to let them decide which group they want to be in. And that's pretty cool a way to do it, I think, actually.
Yeah, that is very cool. Good game to both teams. I mean, I can't help but feel impressed by Gamers 2, or excuse me, GPlay, who were able to do so well on that map. Just on the T sides, I mean, they really gave mousesports a run for their money when I thought they were dead in the water after watching Overpass. So it was a lot closer than it looked.
Definitely a lot closer. But again, it's the style of the map. It doesn't reward mousesports' crazy dynamic pushing CT
Right.
play, and
As you kept
definitely
saying, I
shows.
mean, yeah, it didn't change at all. You're absolutely right.
Interestingly, though, it was T-sided. I didn't expect G-Play to be T-sided quite so much. But regardless, thank you everyone for tuning in. There's a lot going on today with Gfinity. 2 streams over there, and yet you guys all came over here. Thanks a lot. And, I mean, this league is unfolding to be an awesome bout of action. We'll take a quick peek just at our... as I lose my words. We'll take a quick peek just at our results today for the Vulcan League, because we should have some decent results. Oh, I have to go to the live tab. But yeah, I mean, this was a really long game. Yeah, look at that. Dennis gets 104 for us. We didn't have anyone as our strat caller. Next, 122 without having him as our shot caller. And in only 2 games, 122 with all those overtimes. 104, 104, 98. So we had 3 players right around 100. Victor pulled it back. He actually was massive in the second game because he was a little bit lackluster. It was NKL who was the backsided one. But again, he was our affordable player. He was the one just to fill out our salary. So that's pretty decent stuff. For us overall. I don't know where that puts us in the league ranking. We can't find that out yet. 1,000 points overall. Yeah, no idea. But 1,000 points overall is pretty impressive. Because what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 100, plus 150. So 600 right there. 98, 700. Close to 800, and then yeah, so we're a little bit back of that. We're a little bit shy. So well done to these guys. That's a good team coordination for them. Again, you guys can all take part in this league. You just use the counter pick code over on Vulcan.com, and there's tons going on. I mean, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Dota, of all the live tabs, you can watch any game you want. Quickly switch between them as well, not jump around on Twitch. And then the lobby. Look at all these leagues, tons, and look at all the real money that's available for rewarding yourself, and not to mention the buy-in coins that we get just from signing in and out of the site so regularly. They give those up to us. So again, well played to GPlay, although they don't move forward. It's going to be all on mousesports, this new roster. They got given a test today.